Hey everyone, it's Martyn Sibley here from Disability Horizons. And today I want to talk about wheelchairs. Very specifically, if you're looking for a wheelchair or generally just contemplating getting one in the future, and funding is likely to be or is currently a big difficulty, then watch till the end of this video as we have a pretty cool solution to help with that very particular problem. But before we get to that, I just wanted to share a few thoughts really about what wheelchair means to me. I have spinal muscular atrophy type 2, so that means that ever since I was diagnosed at 18 months, and then I was about 3 years old when I had my first wheelchair. It was actually called a Turbo, and it was made by an amazing family run business in Cambridge, which is where I was born and have grown up. And really, the lease of life that wheelchair gave me at such a young age was very powerful. You can imagine how to be able to keep up with my friends at school and to be able to go to the park and play football. And at that sort of younger years, I was the only disabled person in the village and at the school. So I managed to be very integrated with all my non-disabled friends, but still managed to play football and have lots of other sports and games and fun with them. And then when I got a bit older and decided after studying for A levels to go to university, again my wheelchair was that massive lease of life and independence of being in a new city, which was Coventry for me, being able to go to lectures, to get around the city, both in the daytime and more importantly at that age and stage of life, the nighttime. So lots of pubs and clubs and late nights as well. Um, and then more recently, my work and my passions have taken me to travel the world. And so again, my wheelchair has enabled me to go to well over 20, possibly 30 countries. And then many of those countries I've been to multiple times to blog, work with business as a consultant, and all sorts of fun and amazing projects. And I guess, yeah, it's just that everyday life without it, it is my legs, and it just means that I can interact socially, professionally, and do all the things that I want to do. And obviously, going into the future, I'll be able to do. So when I got my most recent wheelchair, which you can't see, only the headrest behind me, but you can have a bit of a Google afterwards. It's the Karma is the company, and Evo Lectus is actually the company model name is Karma Evo Lectus. And it was a bit of a change for many years. I always get a new chair probably every 5 years, and so having had Invacare Storms for a long while, which is a good solid chair, and I've gotten very well with that for a long time. But I decided to have a bit of a change through a friend of mine called Ross. He recommended smart wheelchairs. So the founder, Dean, was able to come out and talk through lots of options, and he really understood what was going on with my disability and my needs. Unfortunately, Dean subsequently passed away, but his wife Maxine has taken on the company and brought forward all of the knowledge and the passion for independence and for disabled people that they have as a company still continues. And so then after ordering the chair and being measured up, I picked it up. I think it was about 18 months ago now I've had it. Took a bit of getting used to because it's a front wheel drive, not a back wheel drive, but it does lots of things that are really helpful. Like, I mean, I can recline and raise the chair like my old one could, but I can also move the backrest, and particularly the footrest goes up and down and both sort of stretches my hamstrings as well as just sort of lifts my feet up more towards my knees. So all those functions are really very useful from a comfort and pain management and ache management perspective. It's got a pretty cool see-through tray, which I really like because I always need a tray on for resting as much as eating and working, just to sort of lean into it. And because it's see-through, it doesn't block me from my day-to-day interactions socially as well. So as promised at the beginning, I'm going to touch upon funding. My personal story through funding the wheelchair, which is not inexpensive. A lot of wheelchairs, particularly that do the level of things that I need mine to do, are not cheap. But I was able to get the NHS voucher because I run my own business and I work. I was able to access to work. I was able to gain access to work, the funding there. And there was a couple of other charities as well that I was able to top up the final few thousand that was needed after those two more governmental grants. Now, obviously, you may have a different condition to me, not spinal muscular atrophy. You may not be working. Whatever it is going to be different needs, and also you're going to go for a different wheelchair. So obviously, I can't give you the answer right now to both your actual next wheelchair, what it might be, but most importantly, how to go about the funding. But with Disability Horizons, the community and magazine that I co-founded a few years back, we've actually been working with smart wheelchairs to create a really helpful guide for people looking to solve this issue. So the best next step, if you want to just even start doing a bit of research or you're desperate to know the answers for funding, is to click on the link and then basically download the free PDF. There'll be loads of really helpful resources and information. And obviously, if you still have any questions, then we at Horizons and also Maxine at Smart Wheelchairs and her team will be able to support you in the next step. But I hope you found the video interesting just from my personal experiences of what the wheelchair means to me. But obviously, this fact that we've created this guide and resource for you to use in your next steps towards your next wheelchair. So thank you for watching, and until the next time, bye-bye.